So, part 2 in our diabetes series, and again, we refer primarily to type 2 diabetes, a disease of lifestyle.
Aren't we supposed to change shirts for this?
Not type 1 diabetes, no. We'll just do it as a series.
Okay.
So, you in our first diabetes video spoke of what caused it, and that was the intracellular fat.
Right.
That comes from saturated fat, which is found in animal products. Not too many places in the plant kingdom, but coconuts. Saturated fat in avocado?
No, but it is high fat, and any fat is a problem.
Okay.
So you do need some fat for your brain and some fat for energy, but you just don't want to have too much of it, so you want to keep it at a low percentage of your diets. So if you are...
Would you say more just a DHA type supplement if you're on a very, very low fat diet then?
I would say 1 handful of nuts and seeds a day.
Okay.
Not more.
Polyunsaturated fats.
Right. And then you can have avocado, but I would go with half an avocado rather than a full, but it also...
Limit your avocado then.
Right, and it depends on how athletic you are.
Yeah.
You know, if you are athletic and you need some extra fats and some extra calories, you may need to add a little bit more.
Yeah. But for an average type 2 diabetic, avoid a
lot of fat in your diet. So when you have fat, make it healthy fat, so not oil.
Speak to how we 5-10 years ago treated our type 2 diabetics. If you don't mind.
So what we would used to do...
I remember glucophage and glipizide.
First thing first, we would say a high protein, low sugar diet.
Okay.
Which is not necessarily the way you should do it. Because when you add protein, high protein, a lot of people thought that was animal protein, which is high in saturated fat, which
causes
you don't want.
Type 2 diabetes.
Insulin resistance, which makes type 2 and type 1 even worse than it can be. But, so they started with that. People would get sicker and sicker because they weren't treated it appropriately. And then they would try meds, like metformin, which is glucophage, and then multiple other types of medicines, all the way up to insulin. Because eventually, even with type 2 diabetes, your pancreas, which is kicking out so much insulin, so many keys, because the keys aren't working, they're trying to have more keys to open more doors, your pancreas will poop out and die. And then you won't even be able to have the insulin, and then you'll need to replace insulin with insulin shots. So that was the way we used to think about doing it. And certainly for some people it's very important. And it's important when you first get diagnosed while you're trying to change your lifestyle and your habits. The most effective way to treat type 2 diabetes is 1, change your diet. Get to a whole food plant-based diet that's low fat. Get rid of saturated fats, cheese, dairy, which animal products.
Cheese and milk actually are higher proportionately in saturated fats than meat, are they not? Because milk is what, 90-some% water?
Yeah, I don't know the exact details, but cheese is concentrated milk, which is not very low.
Yeah.
So get rid of the animal products, get rid of the processed meats, get rid of processed foods. So you want to get rid of trans fats too, so no, low-fat cookies.
Do you think there'll ever be a time when there's like a replacement for milk? In our lifetime, do you think we'll see such a thing as, say, soy milk or almond milk or oat milk?
Yeah.
What's the problem with those off-the-shelf things?
Well, one, they're processed, so they have other things in them. So my favorite way to make almond milk is go to the store, get almonds, and they have that grinder thing. Mm-hmm. Go grind up some fresh almonds.
Okay.
Go home, take 2 tablespoons of almond butter, which you just got, and then 2 cups of water, mix it up, you get your almond milk.
Wow.
Which is kind of fun. And you can do that with cashews and all that stuff. You want to be careful, again, because that's high fat. You want to be careful in a low fat diet.
Yep.
But then you don't have to worry about all the processed extra chemicals that they put in there.
Because I noticed when I first did that, there were quite a lot in there.
Yeah.
I think our almond milk tastes much better at home.
It does. It's delicious.
It's creamier.
Yes.
Thicker.
And if you want to, you can add 1 date in it and makes it a little bit sweeter. And again, people worry about too much fruit or sweetness when they have diabetes, but fruit is actually healthy in diabetes. And the more fruit you have, especially whole foods, but not fruit juices, the better off you are, because you're adding fiber with it. And fiber is so important for the treatment of diabetes and for cholesterol, etc., because it changes the gut microbiome, which are the bacteria in your gut, to a healthier gut microbiome. It pulls out
Does that
cholesterol.
not slow down the absorption of all food macros?
Yep, and it slows down the absorption of sugar, so you don't get insulin spikes, which are a real problem if you have diabetes. You want to keep your insulin level pretty stable throughout the day and night. And so if you eat high fiber foods, that protects you quite a bit from type 2 diabetes, and also helps with type 1 to control your insulin.